Welcome back. This is Chapter 2 of the Ruby Code by Jessica Khoury. Chapter 2, Ash. Well, talk about an anticlimax. Instead of something horrifying or illegal, I find a single golden coin lying on a small cushion of dark blue silk. Not a scrap of dirt or oil on it. Weird. I hold the coin up to the neon glow of the arcade sign. In the shifting light, it gleams blue, purple, pink. 4 nicks on the edges tell me at once that it's not currency, but a tiny electronic drive. It's the sort that was popular a few years ago when people wanted a throwback to retro compact discs. It's a video game. VR optimized too, judging by the tiny symbol stamped on one side beneath the title. The Glass Realm. Wait a minute, I murmur. I've heard of this. It's an old fantasy RPG or role-playing game, released maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I remember seeing posters and ads for it, but it seemed to drop away pretty quickly, drowned in the tide of thousands of virtual reality worlds released every year. Why the guy was carrying this around like a precious family heirloom, I have no idea. It's not worth much. I could sell it for maybe the price of a burger. Sighing, I replaced the game coin in the box and stow it in my pocket. As I began the long walk back to my apartment, my phone chirps with a text from my best friend Hakeem. So, how was it? Worth breaking the old piggy bank? Wiping raindrops from the screen, I type back. Something else came up. Another time, maybe. Really? Those pods are all you've been talking about for months. I groan inwardly. Did you win your match? Nah, lost 6-1. They dragged us to the trash, dude. It was ugly. Ouch. Hakeem's into minor level esports, mostly battle royale type stuff. Not my brand of VR, but I join him every now and then when he needs backup. My mom says you can come over if you want. She's making baklava. Tempting, but... I press a hand against the lump in my pocket, the homeless guide's weird warning suddenly flashing in my brain. Don't tell anyone. Just as quickly, I shake off the thought, because that's completely stupid, right? It wasn't like he gave me the president's diary or a stack of photos from Area 51. What could possibly be illegal or dangerous about some old video game? I got a new RPG, I finish, and then hit send. Dude, you and your elf games. Come on, baklava and all its honey, nutty, doughy goodness. It's true, there's nothing you could possibly put in your mouth that's remotely as delicious as Hakeem's mom's baklava. But still, there's a coin-shaped hole burning in my pocket. I'll come by tomorrow, swear. Hakeem replies with a holomoji, a sobbing cartoon dog that leaps off the screen to hover in the air. Rolling my eyes, I flick it and it dissipates into nothing. By the time I reach home 30 minutes later, I'm shivering. I enter the passcode to unlock the door and slip inside, shedding my coat and boots in a soggy puddle on the front rug. My mom's jacket and shoes are missing. She's still on her artist's retreat upstate, off painting waterfalls or deer or whatever. Lately it seems like she's always going off to paint things, flying all over the world, visiting galleries and museums. The apartment is huge, 4 times the size of the old place my mom and I lived in up until last year. The furnishings are all high-end leather and marble. It doesn't feel like home. Mom said to just give it time. About 15 seconds through the door, I remember Luke is on the couch. Stupid, stupid, stupid! If I hadn't been so distracted by the whole thing with the homeless guy, I'd have remembered to go back in through my window. I swallow hard, trying to sneak past Luke. It's no use. Where have you been, boy? He calls out without turning around. I know you snuck out like a little rat. It's always boy or kid with him, never my name. Not that I want to hear him use it. Can't you mind your own business? I mumble. Luke sits up. I freeze, realizing too late that I just made a big mistake. He turns to give me a narrow stare. He's a tall guy with a long round jaw and hair that's too perfect to be natural. What did you just say? Suddenly he's standing right in front of me, 6 feet of crisp business suit and overpowering cologne. He mocks. You walk into my house, dripping all over rugs, eating my food and showering in my water, and you have the nerve to say it's none of my business? I look down at my damp socks. I know better than to keep talking when Luke's in this mood. Nothing to say? Luke sneers. His work clothes are barely creased from his cushy office job rigging stock markets or whatever it is he does. I usually zone out when he brags about it. Without another word, he turns and walks down the hall to my room. Well, wait, I lurch forward. What are you doing? He pauses in my doorway, minding my own business. I run down the hall, skidding into my room just as he yanks the blankets off my bed. Mine, he says, grabbing the bed frame, mattress, and all, and heaving it onto its side with a loud clang. I flatten myself against the wall. My finger scratches my wrist, where my camo coat button would be if I still had it on. Not that it would hide me from him in here. Even my camo coat has its limits. Sometimes stealth mode just isn't an option. Sometimes the boss just wins. Callister, my mom's fluffy little spaniel, runs in and barks at Luke. Quickly, I grab him and hold him tight so he can't get in the way of Luke's shoes. Luke drags the bed out of the room. Then he returns and dumps out every drawer in my dresser and drags it out too. Then the rug, the mirror on the wall, the desk that has my school tablet and gaming stuff. He jerks it, letting everything crash to the floor. His movements are sharp and violent. The crash is loud enough to make the windows rattle. Mine, and mine, he says calmly. My money paid for them, so they're my business. My mom won't get back from her retreat until Monday night, he says. Maybe you'll have learned your lesson by then, or maybe you won't, and I'll dump you and your mother back in the trash heap where I found you. He steps closer to me. I can't possibly get any smaller, but I try anyway. He puts his hand on the wall right by my face and leans in close. I can take it all back if you want. All the clothes I've bought her, the stupid painting lessons she loves so much, her precious, ridiculous dog. He scowls at Callister, who snarls in my arms, wiggling to get free. I hold his snout shut, fearing that if he did manage to bite Luke, it would be the last thing the little dog ever did. I stay silent. I can take it all and more, kid. You'll be less than you were when I found you. Back to digging in garbage and begging for handouts. Living on borrowed cash, borrowed time. Is that what you want? I shake my head. By the time he finally leaves, my room is a wreck. All my furniture is piled in the living room. Clothes, electronics, shoes, and other stuff are strewn everywhere. I stare for a long while, waiting for my heart to stop racing. Callister leaps down and burrows into my rumpled blankets, then emerges with one of his toy ropes. By the time my mom returns, Luke will have made me drag all the furniture back in and clean up. She'll never even know this happened, and I won't tell her, because he's right. He can take everything away from us, all the stuff that makes Mom happy. She doesn't even know Scary Luke exists. She only gets doting Luke, puppy eyes Luke, who buys her anything she wants and makes her laugh like no one has since my dad. Luke is her knight in shining armor. He saved us from poverty and gave her back her painting. I remember what she was like before she met him. Always struggling to make ends meet, working 3 jobs, her artistic talent abandoned while she tried to feed me and keep us housed. Her reality changed for the better when she met Luke. And me? Well, at least I can escape reality altogether. For a while, anyway. I make a kind of bed out of my clothes, piling them up in the corner. Then I crack open the floorboard under the window and take out my secret stack of VR equipment. headset, and motion tracking gloves and anklets. I learned the hard way it's better to hide my more fragile stuff from Luke after he smashed my backup VR set in another fit of rage. Taking out the game coin, I pop it into a slot on the side of the headset and turn the unit on. Once I'm geared up, I lean against the wall, Callister snoozing beside me. The Glass Realm opening sequence plays, clouds parting over a vast, lush landscape of mountains, valleys, rivers, oceans. Not a hint of air pollution, not a skyscraper to mar the horizon. I can almost taste the purity of that sky. Already, I'm liking the feel of this world. Maybe that homeless guy wasn't as spaced as I'd thought. I think you'll be good for each other. Or had he been talking about a person? Something about how I reminded him of someone? On second thought, yeah, he was galactically spaced. The Glass Realms logo fades into a cutscene showing various realms, mobs, and NPCs, a kind of trailer for the game itself, set to sweeping orchestral music. Even on my old equipment, the immersion experience is all-encompassing. Everywhere I look, there's no sign of my ransacked bedroom, the walls of Luke's apartment, the rain drumming on the fire escape outside the window. Best of all, The Realm is a single-player game, a rarity in this age of multiplayer worlds, battle royales, and esports, the stuff Hakeem and most other kids seem to prefer. There will be no real people here but me. Perfect. Welcome to the Glass Realm, the world of the ever-curious, a cool voice whispers in my ear. Are you ready to begin your quest, brave adventurer? Yeah, I murmur. Just get me out of here. And that is the end of chapter 2. We'll see you next time. See you on the next page.